Welcome to First Things First, the weekday morning devotions from Pastor Stephen Miller at First Free Will Baptist Church of Morrison City in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Well, good morning and welcome to First Things First. Today is Tuesday, February the 4th. I'm thankful for another day that the Lord has blessed us with. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it, and thankful for two great services Sunday, and just feel blessed, amen, for what God's doing, and just thankful for the sweet spirit that we had here at the church, and hope it's a blessing to you. If you didn't get to be here, hope you'll go back and watch those services from February 2nd, and I know titles this morning. I forgot to change my titles over, but for this morning anyways, but you can go back and look at the messages from Sunday, and I hope it'll be a blessing to you if you didn't get to watch earlier. But sorry to miss yesterday. I was supposed to have took my wife to the dentist yesterday to have a tooth removed, but she was sick all Sunday night, and we were up all night long actually, so I didn't get a chance to even do that. So, but I do apologize for missing yesterday on my First Things First. But back this morning, and hope that we can be a blessing to you as we continue on this journey. Amen. This morning, as we start off this week, we're going to be looking at God's design for purity, and this is what God's mostly talking about God's plan for us in relationships, and what that looks like for God to have his hand in a relationship. And today we're going to find ourselves in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 this morning. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 1 through 5, excuse me, it says, "Now concerning the things which, the things whereof he wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one another, or one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency." And as we look at this and think about God's design for marriage and what he had set up, and unfortunately we have a lot of people today, a lot of men especially, but it actually can go both ways, that just looks at one side or the other, and a lot of men unfortunately will look and say, the woman is subject to the husband, and they'll just leave it at that. But Paul doesn't just stop there. He tells us it goes both ways. It goes, the wife is subject to the husband, but the husband is subject to the wife as well. So we're supposed to be as one flesh, and when one flesh, or when we are one flesh, and whenever one of the persons, either the husband or the wife, goes against the marriage covenant and goes out, it's not only hurting themselves, they will eventually be hurt by that, but it's hurting their spouse as well. And we're supposed to be together in this thing, and we're supposed to as Paul says here, and it's interesting, Paul, never got married, but he had been asked this question, and they apparently had wrote this and asked this question about marriage, and Paul tells them, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife. And it's not somebody else's wife. It's not somebody else's spouse. Have your own wife. And we're supposed to, again, it says, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. So, we're seeing the two become one, that they're no longer separate entities and separate people. And I thank the Lord for my wife. We've been married 33 years now, I guess, coming up. Wow, hard to believe. 32 years. I'm sorry, coming up. But thankful for what God has done there. And we two are one flesh. And there's a lot of times whenever I'll finish her sentences for her, and sometimes she finishes my sentences for her. She knows we know what we're thinking about each other. We have been together for that long, and sometimes it's irritating, but it's always a blessing to know that your two flesh has become one, and you're in sync, it seems like, and that the Lord is continuing and can continue to bless. Be honest with you, you don't see a lot of marriages lasting for 30 years or more anymore, but I'm glad that ours has. I'm not saying that we have the perfect marriage. We still make mistakes, and I'll make mistakes. I mess up. I'll be honest with you. And we have differences at times, but I'm glad that whenever we come back and we allow God to enter into the mix, then God will bless us, because I think about it a lot of times especially whenever I'm getting ready to perform a marriage or something, a ceremony. It takes more than just the husband, more than just a wife. It takes God to be in the mix of it too, and a three-strand cord is not easily broken. If you have the husband, you have the wife, and then you have God, and you braid it together and make it work, it'll make the marriage stronger. I truly believe that, and still believe in that and trust in that today. So I hope whatever relationship is that you're in, it's strong because of the Lord, that He's blessed. And there's a lot of people out there that are single and remain single for a long time. I had my best friend passed away a few years ago, but my best friend never got married. And he remained unmarried his whole life. And we talked about it quite a bit, and it was hard for him at times, but God blessed him in that. And there's others that do get married, like me, and we talked about my relationship a lot of times, and I do miss my dear friend Scott, but we got to talk about that a whole lot in our relationships. But whatever it is, that relationship that you have, let's put God first in everything, and God will bless that, God will strengthen that, and God will nourish that relationship. Amen. Friend, I hope that you have a blessed day today as we continue on this journey, and I do want to thank you for making me a part of your day today, and hope that we'll turn around and do it again tomorrow morning for another edition of First Things First. May God bless you as our prayers.
First Things First is a ministry of First Free Will Baptist Church of Morrison City. We are located at 211 West Carters Valley Road in Kingsport, Tennessee.